to remember to tap my brake, otherwise we're running way too deep off of that. Okay, so this is my fourth ride of the season here at Bryce Bike Park. Doing the first run of the day on gin and juice, making a few adjustments to the bike. So on this first run here, and I'll do another run immediately after, but I noticed that everything felt really stiff and it just felt kind of brutal and felt like my front and rear were both fully locked out. So I went back and made some adjustments and took some measurements and realized that I was running about 7 psi too much in my rear shock and about 3 psi too much in my front. And I also was running about 2 psi higher than I would like to in the front tire, and about 1 to 2 psi higher than I would normally run in the rear. And I know these things don't really seem like much. I know there's some riders that I hear, they just say that they don't really check those things, they just kind of go out and ride. But I always check those things before each ride just to make sure that if I'm feeling any difference, that it's me and not the bike that's causing the inconsistency. So I took those measurements, realized I was running everything a little bit stiffer than I normally would, and I kind of overcalculated the night before when I had set up these pressures, just thinking that it would help me have better roll resistance and hit some of these jumps a little bit better. So I made those adjustments, and then I am going to do another run immediately after, and it made a big difference. My speeds were about the same, but the ride felt completely different. One felt less controlled, and the second ride felt a lot more plush and more controlled, and felt like I could kind of move around a little bit more on the bike, and definitely wasn't as brutal on the body. So anyway, as I mentioned in the last video, whenever I come out, I try to progress as much as possible. So my goal this time when I was out riding was to try to work on a scrub technique. I want to work on the scrub technique because I like to carry a lot of speed into corners, and also just like to maintain speed in general to flow in and out of things quickly. And if I do brake, I brake really late and really quick. But I would like to find a technique for jumps that allows me to fully go into a jump with enough confidence that I don't necessarily need to worry so much about tapping my brakes coming into things. I could instead just kind of scrub my speed off of the takeoff and stay low. Now these two things are important to me because I would like to be able to maintain enough speed where I still clear a jump, but I'm not a big fan of getting a lot of air. Now I will try a jump and see how it feels, but if there's a way for me to still clear a jump but shave, maybe 2 or 3 feet off of my height in the air, I would really prefer that. And if I could shave even more height off, that's something that I would prefer even more. I like to fly low. I know some people are really big on air, but for me, it's still not something that I'm really that comfortable with. And I feel like it just adds increased risk because the higher you go up, like sometimes it happens at this park here, the higher you're up and the further you're going, the longer time you have, and also increase the likelihood of the wind impacting your jump or your kind of direction of travel in the air. So being able to shave that down would really be helpful. And I thought through here on gin and juice that this would be a good section to practice the scrub technique, but for me it isn't. I realized that for me to practice this technique, I will need a jump, maybe 3 or 4 jumps in a row that are built exactly the same, that allow me to just kind of try something out different off of each one. So I'll probably end up working my way to, or not working my way, but once Snowshoe opens up this season, see if they have any longer trails that allow me to kind of try out a variety of techniques until I get that scrub technique down. So the wind just randomly stopped. There's like no wind right now, so I'm gonna I said today I would stick to the ground, but I'm going to do one more complete run on pickleback, because I've been skipping that drop because of the wind, the underlift drop. Alright, this will probably be my last jump run. I'll do a full run on this trail. cut my brake, otherwise I run way too deep off of that. Oh, that was a clean run, and I'll leave it at that. Well, Hooch is still closed. I'm not sure why, but I have the bike set up finally how I want it. I fixed my fork seal leak issue. All I did was I cleaned them, which I've been doing, but then I added a little bit of dielectric grease to them and kind of pumped them a few times, and I haven't had any leaks so far, fingers crossed. But I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna open up the fork a little bit. Open it up 2 clicks and then try a different trail. Let me see how it feels running 2 from open. Do something a little different. Ugh. It doesn't feel as good 2 open. I also put more air in my fork, so sliding all over the place. it looks like greasing my forks really helped out. So try to make it a little bit longer of a run. So I think I ran two from open, I think is what I ran last time. Just lose so much speed. That's all. Good weekend.